The Subaru WRX is almost like the face of the Subaru brand, being one of the most loved Japanese vehicles out there in the car community. Sharp handling, quick acceleration, and standard all-wheel drive have made it a huge success for millennials and older folks looking for a fun time. Now, a few years into its third generation, the WRX still looks to be a solid choice if you're looking for a fun yet practical sedan. So let's go ahead and take a closer look and find out why. And check out this 2017 Subaru WRX. Now, the WRX is based off of the Subaru Impreza, and while the Impreza has moved on to its next generation for 2017, the WRX is still based off of the last generation Impreza. Now, the WRX was introduced for its third generation just a couple of years ago, and I still like the styling of the WRX here. It still retains some of its classic styling traits, such as the hood scoop, and I love that about WRXs. And then you also do have these decent looking 17-inch alloy wheels, but overall it's not a bad looking vehicle and isn't overdone in terms of styling. Now, if you step up to the STI model, which is this one right here, you get Brembo front brakes, a different suspension setup, and you also do get a unique rear spoiler, as you can see in the back right there. And then you also do get special STI badging and a more powerful engine. Now, here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. Okay looking key fob, nothing remarkable here, but you do have your lock, unlock, and then to release your trunk, and then your panic alarm. Now, this is known as the crystal black silica. And you also do have a full-on black cloth interior with this red contrast stitching, and then manual driver's seat adjustments. All right, now stepping on the inside of the WRX here, even though the regular Impreza has gotten fully redesigned for 2017, to be honest, the vehicles don't look a whole lot different in terms of their interior designs. And everything is still pretty simple and well laid out, which many people love about this car. And I love the carbon fiber interior trim. That's a nice styling touch. And what you're hearing there is a 2-liter turbocharged intercooled 4-cylinder engine. Full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed manual transmission. And you have your parking brake right here. Let's go ahead and turn on the headlights, then the hazards. Now, not much has changed for 2017 for the WRX, except for that there is the addition of automatic up front windows, and then also there is a new reverse automatic braking system when you get the EyeSight package. Coming up front here, you'll find halogen projector beam headlights. Now, the WRX here is packing a little bit more under the hood than your regular ho-hum Impreza. This is known as a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that's intercooled, and it's a horizontally opposed 4-cylinder engine. It's known as the Boxer engine. And like I said, this is what you'll get on the base WRX. But if you go for the STI model, you do get a beefed up 2.5-liter engine. And that produces 305 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque. But this one we have here produces 268 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 258 pound-feet of torque at 2,000 RPM, with EPA estimates being a pretty decent 20 in the city and 27 on the highway. And like I said, you do have standard all-wheel drive on the WRX, which is always a plus, especially if you go to the snow a lot. But with either way you go, you're looking at an engine that's pretty quick in acceleration and pretty powerful. Now the base WRX comes with some pretty nice features, comes pretty well equipped with a trunk lid spoiler, cruise control, sport front seats with cloth upholstery, and automatic climate control. If you step up to the WRX Premium, this adds in 18-inch alloy wheels, a sunroof, heated front seats, and heated exterior mirrors. Then when you go to the Limited, this adds in LED low beam headlights, keyless ignition and entry, and a 7-inch Starlink touchscreen. And then if you go for the STI model, I mentioned this before, this gives you Brembo front brakes, a more powerful engine, a front and rear limited slip differentials, and then you also do get a more aggressively tuned suspension and dual zone automatic climate control as well. Now, competitors of the WRX, you're looking at vehicles in the compact car class known as kind of like the hot hatch segment, except for the WRX is no longer a hatch like how it used to be. But its main competitors are the Golf R. You can also look at the Ford Focus RS too. And coming to the rear here, you'll find LED taillights, and then my favorite part, the quad exhaust tubes. Now, total vehicle price for our particular WRX is $27,691, and to be honest, this price isn't much more than the Impreza Sport. And like I said, EPA estimates 20 in the city and 27 on the highway. Final assembly point for this vehicle is in Japan. And of course, you have all of your basic power necessities: power windows, door locks, and power mirrors, chrome interior door handles. Now, no matter what engine or transmission choice you go with in the WRX, it's certainly a blast to drive. And the WRX is available in the 6-speed manual or a CVT automatic with paddle shifters. But it lives up to what it's meant to be, you know, a thrill machine that's yet practical. And the WRX with the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine provides quick acceleration that's pretty peppy. And then you also do have very sharp yet predictable and nimble handling, and you certainly have a lot of confidence behind the wheel of this vehicle. Now, the ride quality is certainly not the best out there. I mean, that's not what the WRX is for. If you're looking for a better ride quality, just go with like a Subaru Outback or something. But the ride quality can be jarring even in this class of vehicle. But I love the WRX. You know, it really stays true to its formula of being a vehicle that's fun and practical with its standard all-wheel drive, and is somewhat economical, and it's pretty affordable too. And if you're looking for that, the WRX will certainly not disappoint. If you're looking for a vehicle that's fun but you don't want to give up practicality, I think the WRX is the way to go. Interior quality is okay in the WRX, but it certainly can be better. Nice soft touch materials on the important places, like on the upper door panel and the mid door panel and armrest. Dashboard is at least all soft touch, but some of the panels inside of here do have gaps and they don't feel as sturdy, especially when you compare it to the new generation of the Impreza. The new generation of the Impreza feels a little bit better in its interior quality, but it's all right. You do have your fully leather wrapped steering wheel with a flat bottom design. Love that. And then I love the red stitching too. That's really nice. And then over here you'll find your Bluetooth phone controls, voice recognition, and your controls for your 2 driver information centers. And then you have your cruise control as well. Down here, little storage cubby, and then a 12-volt power outlet. Then you also do have dual cup holders. Okay, amount of center console storage with a USB charging port, auxiliary input, and a 12-volt power outlet. Here goes your glove box. Manually dimming rearview mirror and map lights. Now, coming to your infotainment system and head unit, this is the Subaru Starlink system, and this is the last generation system here. Still is pretty responsive. You do have all of your basic audio sources, AM, FM, XM satellite radio, your Bluetooth, USB port with iPod integration, Pandora, and then your CD player with your optical disc drive, as well as your auxiliary input. And then you have your apps with your Subaru Starlink, AHA, and then your Pandora. And then down here you'll also find your AC controls, and your temperatures, fan speeds, and then your different zones. These climate controls also feel a lot better than what they do in the new Impreza. They feel a lot more sturdy, and in the new Impreza, the climate controls feel a little bit clunky. And then up here, it also shows you your acceleration percentage. It also gives you your peak too. Then you have your digital clock, exterior temperature readout. Pretty nice. And then over here, it shows you what temperature you're at for your climate controls and your fan speed level. And then coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster here, I love the gauge setup. You have your tachometer on the left, speedometer on the right, and then you have your digital clock as well as your odometer. It also gives you your instant fuel economy too, which is pretty cool. And it gives you other things like your trip odometer, all that good stuff. Interior quality does follow through in the rear. Now, sitting back here in the WRX, now with the new generation Impreza, Subaru actually made the interior a little bit roomier, but it's still decently roomy inside of here. There's enough headroom, enough legroom, single mat pocket, and cup holders too. And the headrests are also adjustable, which is nice, but I'm pretty disappointed that there's no rear center armrest. Trunk space isn't too bad, and then you have your WRX floor mats and your emergency trunk release. So with its powerful and peppy powertrains, its roomy interior, and